You've heard the hype. Electric vehicles are gonna save the planet, right? But what if I told you there's more to the story? Yeah, that's right. Today we're diving deep into the EV versus gas-powered car debate. And trust me, the truth might surprise you. We've all seen those sleek electric cars buzzing around, and yeah, they look clean, but let's rewind. What happens before these cars hit the road? What people don't always talk about is the cost of building them. Those big EV batteries, they're made from materials like lithium, cobalt, and nickel. Sounds fancy, right? But here's the catch. Getting those metals out of the ground isn't exactly a green process. The mining involved is rough on the environment. Think big machines, huge pits in the ground, and a whole lot of energy. It's kind of like seeing your dream car get a giant scratch before you've even driven it. Painful. Now don't give up on the electric dream just yet. Gotta keep it fair. Building a gas-powered car isn't all roses either. You're talking steel, aluminum, and all the parts that go into it. Plus, you're making an engine that's designed to burn fuel for its entire life. And here's the plot twist. EVs start their lives with a bigger carbon footprint. Yep, on day one, the electric vehicle is carrying more environmental baggage than your standard gas car. Surprised? But wait, don't bounce yet, because the story's just getting good. Once these cars hit the road, things start to shift. For every mile you drive an electric car, it gets cleaner. But there's a catch. How are you charging it? Not all electricity is created equal. If you're somewhere with renewable energy, like wind or solar, your EV's living that green dream. But if you're charging up in a place where electricity still comes from coal, yeah, your eco-friendly ride might be running on power that's not so clean after all. It's like thinking you're eating a salad, but it's covered in bacon bits. Still kinda good, but not what you signed up for. Here's the real kicker though. Over the lifetime of an electric vehicle, even if your electricity mix isn't perfect, EVs still end up being cleaner than gas-powered cars. Every time you fill up a gas car, you're burning fuel and adding more carbon to the atmosphere. EVs, on the other hand, they get better as the grid gets greener. So yeah, there's hope, real hope, but let's not gloss over the long-term picture. What happens when these cars are done? End of life, baby. Now gas cars, they're made of materials we've been recycling for decades. Steel, aluminum, you name it. But EVs, those batteries don't just fade away into the sunset, they've got a shelf life, and recycling them is a whole different ballgame. It's not as simple as melting down some metal and calling it a day. There's a lot of innovation happening right now to improve battery recycling, but we're not quite there yet. It's like trying to recycle your phone, times 1,000. So, who's really winning this green showdown? It's complicated. In the long run, EVs have the potential to clean up our act, especially as renewable energy takes over. But it's not as simple as EVs good, gas cars bad. Both come with their own set of issues. And honestly, the best way to reduce your environmental impact is probably just driving less altogether. Yeah, I said it. But hey, we all need to get around, right? So if you're picking between an EV and a gas car, it's all about knowing the facts. But let's be real. There's another player in the game we haven't touched on yet. Hydrogen. Oh yeah, hydrogen-powered vehicles. It's a technology that's been quietly waiting in the wings. A lot of people don't even know about it. But hydrogen vehicles could change the conversation entirely. Unlike EVs, they don't rely on big batteries full of rare metals. Instead, they use fuel cells that turn hydrogen into electricity. No tailpipe emissions, just water vapor. Sounds cool, right? But there's a catch, and it's a big one. Hydrogen is tricky. Right now, most of the hydrogen we produce comes from natural gas, which, you guessed it, is a fossil fuel. So we're not quite there yet. But imagine a world where we're making hydrogen using renewable energy like wind or solar. That would be a game changer, no doubt. The tech is still evolving, but it's one to keep an eye on. Now, if you're still here, first of all, you're awesome. Second of all, I'm not saying you should ditch your gas car tomorrow or run out and buy an EV today. This is all about balance and making the best choice for where you are and how you drive. But here's the thing. Whether you're a gearhead or an eco-warrior, this conversation isn't going anywhere. So hit that subscribe button and stick around because we're diving into even more of this in future videos. Don't leave me hanging. You know you want to stay in the loop. Before we wrap up, let's not forget the wild card in this whole debate, charging infrastructure. It's great to have an EV, but if you don't have anywhere to charge it, that's a problem. And sure, cities are rolling out charging stations like hotcakes, but in more rural areas, not so much. We've got to think about accessibility and convenience, especially if we want more people to make the switch. So, there you have it. EVs aren't perfect. Gas cars definitely aren't perfect. Hydrogen, it's still on the sidelines. The future of transportation is complicated, but it's exciting. And at the end of the day, it's not just about the cars we drive. It's about how we power them and what we're doing to make this planet a cleaner place for all of us. If you're into the tech, the green movement, or just want to know what's really going on under the hood, you're in the right spot. Subscribe, join the conversation, and let's figure this out together. Because this debate, it's only getting started.